Hey, what's up? This is Ross McKenzie, and today I'm going to be doing a review on my thoughts of, as you well know, I announced in the group that I will be doing a challenge of watching the all of the Doctor Who shows that are out there. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out because I basically could not find any torrent downloads that would be able to support my pathetic memory on my computer. So it's just not going to happen. It would take years for me to download all of them together. So what I basically have changed it to now is that I will watch every single episode that I can find that is basically on digital streaming. So that means Hulu, Netflix, whatever one. But I found Hulu to have a better selection of Doctor Who, of the classic Doctor Who, and basically now I'm going to give my thoughts on season 1 with Doctor Who number 1, William Hartnell. And okay, so Doctor Who premiered back in November of 1963, and with the premiere episode of Unearthly Child. It was the episode name. And we were introduced to the first Doctor Who ever, played by William Hartnell. And, I personally have not really watched hardly any of these. About the only thing I saw was, I think, the older movie, like movie Doctor Who back in 93 or something like that. 96 or something. And that was with Paul McGann. And but I can honestly tell you that Doctor Who started out as he started out as a Grinch. He was just kind of like an senile old man that thought he knew it all, And when you see him get into the TARDIS, he really doesn't know how to operate it very well, which is kind of like the symbolic thing to all Doctor Who movies or series, is that the TARDIS is hard to run, I guess. I don't know. I've never really gotten that. But okay, so what I've figured out is basically Doctor Who started out as mainly a bunch of serials. So now we got the Unearthly Child, and that's about 4 parts. And the whole damn thing consists of them getting to the prehistoric age, and Doctor Who in the group, who he finds a group with his granddaughter of older people and his granddaughter, which changes a lot over the years because Doctor Who seemingly gets younger people. That's, I guess they decide to make it new and fresh for him, for younger people opposite him as being an older person, So, Unearthly Child, it was the start of Doctor Who. What can you say? I mean, it was where it all started. It was the beginning of a legend on television. A legend that would go 50 years in the making. Was it a good episode? It was okay. I mean, it was not bad. I mean, okay, I'll slim it down to just basically 3 words. They land in 100,000 BC, and basically the whole damn thing consists of a tribe just wanting to make fire, and that's it. That's really all the episode is. That's really all it consists of. Okay, now we get to the next part, which is part 4. And that one is an even longer serial. But it introduced us to one of the enemies, most popular enemies of Doctor Who in the Daleks, which I think are kind of look like moving tin cans that just kind of say exterminate all the time. And they have very robotic voices and stuff. They were actually humans that were actually made so that they would be able to survive in the atomic, after a very horrible atomic atmosphere and stuff. And picture them as kind of like Doctor Who's Borg. They're kind of like the Borg to me. And they just basically want to exterminate people, and that's it. Now, the 6-parter is basically... The 6-parter was basically my personal favorite out of all the serials that I watched. The one with the Daleks in the first season is my favorite, hands down, because that had the best storyline. It was very interesting to me that humans ended up living inside little garbage cans, little tin cans, and they just wanted to kill, That interested me because, and it expanded it over on this epic length, almost epic length movie that kind of showed you exactly why, what the Daleks were about and why they're kind of like the most evil of the Doctor Who enemies. All right, so with Doctor Who, he's kind of like he doesn't really do much in the first episodes. He really doesn't do much at all. He just kind of stands there and expects everybody else to kind of do the things for him. It's really not, I guess, the modern Doctor Who that we're used to, but the serial with the Daleks was absolutely phenomenal. And it introduced us to Doctor Who's enemy that will be throughout his whole, journey with the TARDIS and all that other stuff. And that leads us to basically a 5-part story with the Aztecs. Now, this one is... Well, it was better than the pilot episode. I mean, it's basically is what it is. I mean, it's just basically, it was basically the Aztecs, and they kind of see as one of Doctor Who's, crew as a goddess. So she has some clout as to how things are run in the place, in these temples and stuff, and they get introduced to the Aztecs' suicidal ways. I mean, the Aztecs, sacrificing ways and stuff. And so I'm going to button this up in part 2, which won't be very long. And so I'll meet you in part 2. Thank you very much.